Welcome back to the TWSN YouTube channel. Today we have another team-specific mock draft for you guys. And this one, Baltimore Ravens edition. Now, picking up 14, in my opinion, is a big luxury for them. I know last year it didn't go as planned, but sometimes that's kind of what you need to prolong the future a little bit. Everybody knows they're not this bad. They're not. So this draft, they really need to take advantage of it, and they're going to kill the draft like they always do. And I think picking at 14 is a huge bonus for them. And right here they are, pick 14. What are they going to do? I'll go ahead and give me Jordan Davis from Georgia. They need some interior help a little bit. He's just a dominant force. I think the Ravens would be salivating over him if he's there at 14. Like I said, it's one of those luxury picks, man. Like, maybe it's a little high for him, maybe it's not, but just in general, the Ravens adding a player like that in the middle of their defense, I don't think that's something they could pass up on, especially in the hard-nosed smash mouth AFC North, adding the super high upside Jordan Davis. I know there's a question, is he a 3-down guy? Yes, that's a valid question, but you're going to get a dominant 2 downs at the very least. And if he can add anything on 3rd down or pass rushing capability, then that's an absolute home run, massive upside pick. I think I can see Baltimore being all over him there if he's there at 14. Now here in round 2, I would like to address the secondary a little bit with him. I see some guys here, Leonard Baum and Tyler Smith. I don't think they're going to be there at this range, so I'm not going to really mock them there, even if they are just obvious picks, but I don't really think it's possible. Let's go ahead and continue the high upside trend, Tyrique Woolen. They need some secondary help really bad. That's why I'm kind of glad that a guy like that went there. They have some guys in place, some older guys. Tyrique Woolen, 6'4", former wide receiver, uber fast, uber athletic player. They need help in the secondary. They need depth in the secondary. We kind of saw what happened to them last year. A little bit of a high upside, high risk, boom bust kind of guy there with Tyrique Woolen. But the Ravens always seem to take those guys and run with them. They always seem to hit when they go to Baltimore. So credit to Baltimore, man, when you know you can take those high upside guys and get the most out of them, and makes drafting a whole lot easier. And Tyrique Woolen in that system would be absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion. Now, again, here, I do think some interior offensive line help is important to them. I'm a big Donald Parham guy. I think he could be gone, but I think there's a chance he's here as well. Donald Parham, 76. This draft is absolutely amazing to me so far. Home run picks, A+ so far. But Dylan Parham, a very versatile offensive lineman, can play anywhere in the interior. He can start at any position. He can make an impact day one at any position you give him. And the great thing about the Ravens is they stockpile all these picks in the middle. I don't remember what it is, but they have so many picks from rounds 2 through 5 or 3 through 5, so many, so that they can do so much. I think they'll probably be active. They'll probably try to move up a little bit, move around to get the guys they want. But for right now, they're going to be staying pat in this draft. We're just going to drop from all of their slots given to them. Here in the 3rd, pick 100. I think you can kind of see them take a lot of different approaches. I think Drake Jackson here makes a lot of sense as well. Tyreek Smith does also. I think those are the guys I'm leaning here. Let's go ahead and give him Drake Jackson. I think that they have some pass rushing upside. They are already on the roster, and Drake Jackson is a phenomenal run defender. He obviously can give you some pass rushing upside, but they just don't need it as much. I think they already have a lot of that in place. So I think they'll take a guy that they know they can get an elite run defender from and try to develop his passing game or his pass rushing game along the way a little bit. Now here, again, 10 picks later, so many picks in this range. It's getting to a point we're in the 4th round of pick 110. They have 4 picks and they have so much more. They're address a lot of their needs. I think they can really start going best player available. They can take some fun. They can really take some fun picks and kind of go from there. I think, Fedarius Mathis makes a lot of sense to them, but they drafted some guys earlier that kind of, when you draft Jordan Davis at 14, you're probably not going to double dip in that area, but who knows? You really might. I think there's a couple guys that, Martin Emerson. Let me go ahead and give them Martin Emerson. I think secondary is something that they will want to address pretty deeply because everybody, like Ravens fans and NFL fans, know how bad they were injured last year. And even if they're not injured, you need depth in the secondary. And they saw that last year. The Bucs saw that last year. You play in a division with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Amari Cooper. Like, you have a lot of people to cover. And even if you get out of the division in the playoffs, I mean, look at all the rosters in the AFC. Cornerback depth is going to be awesome. In my opinion, in this draft so far, Tyrique Woolen, stupid high upside. Martin Emerson has a really high floor because of his really long arms. So home run cornerback pairing there, totally possible. I love this draft for Baltimore so far. Again, pick at 119, 128. So many picks. They can really take anything and just develop people. And I think, there's a couple guys I like down at that board. I don't think they need. I mean, we got all the picks in the world, man. Let's go ahead and give him a developmental tackle on Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones he's a developmental guy, but I don't think he's that far off. I think he's got some pretty high upside coming from Southern Utah. You don't see a lot of draft guys come from Southern Utah. But again, the Ravens were terribly injured last year. I think he can kind of come in, and probably don't want him to start week 1, but he can kind of come in and be your 6th offensive lineman or your swing tackle if you need one. And I think, like I said, when they just develop talent, man, they really do. It's amazing. Credit to them. And we're going to take another development guy, Dominic Robinson from Miami of Ohio. This is what the Ravens do. They get all these picks, and they're going to take high upside developmental projects, and they'll just hit. Because that's what the Ravens do. That's what they did with these last couple of picks that we just mocked them. Again, more picks, 139 and 141. I'd imagine they're going to move up, but here they're not. Oh my God. Okonkwo from Maryland is a perfect fit within this Baltimore Ravens team. I know they have Nick Boyle, they have Mark Andrews, but look at all the fun running schemes and that they do there. He fits in perfectly. I think it can kind of help you get rid of Nick Boyle if you want. He can be an elite tight end too. Fits in perfectly, can block super well, super athletic, can kind of be that fullback role, Kyle Juszczyk and that is a phenomenal fit within that offense. And maybe it's not a pick you make if you don't have the amount of picks that they do, but I think Okonkwo fits like a absolute glove in that Baltimore Ravens system. And yeah, so a pretty easy pick there that I am pretty excited about for them. Again, there's so many picks. They've done so much. What direction do they want to take? We've hit on most of their needs. They could use some wide receiver depth. I think that's totally fair. But what kind of receiver do they want? Let's go ahead and give him Bo Melton from Rutgers. I love Bo Melton. He's an elite returner at the very least. I know they have elite returners in general, but he's a guy you can kind of get the ball in his hands and tell him to go make plays. I think that's good for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson obviously isn't the best passer in the world, but he's a lot better than people give him credit for. If you can have a guy like Bo Melton that you can always just have a little bit of a check down to, you can kind of use him, as a third down safety net, kind of get the ball in his hands and let him go make plays. At the very least, you have a special teams contributor. But I think Bo Melton is a phenomenal player, phenomenal value there for them. And they're just going to continue to take advantage of value, take advantage of high upside players. We're finally through that stretch where they picked so much. I mean, 100, 110, 119. Bro, they didn't go, what was their longest time without a pick? 11 picks? That's insane. They're going to be very busy. It wouldn't surprise me if they try to move up from any of these picks. I feel like they can do whatever they want, man. They really can. Really exciting draft for Baltimore. Super exciting draft for Baltimore. Now here, round 6, who's a guy that I can see them taking a shot on? I like some of these corners, but I don't see them taking a third corner. We've hit almost all their needs. Is there a linebacker I like here? I love Malcolm Rodriguez. Anybody who just screams Baltimore Raven to me. Not really. Maybe they take an upside. Oh yeah, I like Alex Lindstrom here from Boston College. We got to interview him at the combine. Super smart guy. He can kind of, Bradley Bozeman left. They need some help in the interior in general. They need some help on the offensive line in general. I know we have Parham and we have Braxton Jones, but Lindstrom's he's Donald Parham-esque where he can play all three positions on the inside. I think he's more of a natural center than Parham is. But again, in the Ravens, you have all these picks in the world. You're going to take people that you think you can develop, and when you can get a guy like Lindstrom come in who's a super smart player already, with a coaching staff and a developmental system that the Ravens have, it's a pretty phenomenal match. In my opinion, I think that would be a very good late round pick. Wouldn't surprise me if he's even gone at this range, but he wasn't. I think it's a fantastic way to end the draft for Baltimore. Man, like this Baltimore team this year, like I said, picking this early is a luxury for them. Everybody knows they're not this bad, so I think they could try to be aggressive with some of these picks, move up, and continue to bolster their rosters. Top end talent, but they do need some depth. So I hope they don't do it too much. But this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks. 10 picks? That's a lot of picks. There's a lot of picks in this range. This is one of my favorite drafts I've done in this series. Jordan Davis, Tyrique Woolen, Parham, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I think the Ravens will be interesting to watch. Do they keep all their picks? Do they move around? Whatever it is, it's going to be a fun draft for Baltimore because everybody knows they're so much better than what they were last year. So that's going to wrap up this video, this Baltimore Ravens team-specific mock draft. Draft is quickly approaching. Make sure you guys are following all the TWSN social media accounts to stay up to date with all the draft news, rumors, grades, whatnot. We will have the content for you. But thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the TWSN YouTube channel again soon.